Ladies and gentlemen, to the 6 p.m. October 6th meeting of the Ayer Planning Board in the year 2016. Our colleague Jeff will be along in a moment, but we'll begin as is appropriate to do so. We have a quorum. So what I would like to begin with is approving the agenda. And before I ask for the vote, I do have a couple of minor adjustments to the agenda, if I might put them out. So let me ask for the motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Do I have a second? Second. Okay. Before I call the vote, then I would like to amend the agenda briefly. It would be in our best interest, actually, to have Sue Kennedy come up and speak to us, because as you know, the board has been striving for a fourth member, and Sue Kennedy is devoutly interested, I hope, when she comes down to talk to us. I see you hiding back there. With the approval of the board, I'd like to move that up to right after we do minutes. And I don't see Judy Barrett in the room, so we might be able to work with that. I think you have 5 or 10 minutes worth of telling you why you want the job.
5 or 10 minutes?
Well,
Okay, one or two.
one or two.
Okay. Well, I'm a little nervous about it, first of all, because I
Okay, well,
just
let's.
moved to town
I don't want to put you on the spot.
six
but let me-
months ago,
Yeah.
and it seemed, I thought, well, what a great way to learn
Yeah.
about the town.
Yeah,
I just love it. so
yeah.
far.
Let me
6
finish
months.
the process here, and we'll ask you to come up. So with that, I would ask for an amendment to have, right after we approve minutes, to have Sue come up and talk to us about being a member, because I have 3 possible openings in the near future, 18 October, 1 November, and 15 November, based on the vote of the board, we'll schedule a joint meeting with the Board of Selectmen
Nice.
and get a fourth member.
That'd be great.
Okay?
Motion to amend the agenda for...
With that said, then,
Our fourth member?
the agenda is amended.
Mr. Chair, you said the fourth member?
Did I say the fourth?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, we need a fifth.
Okay.
Well, there's 3 of us now, but Jeff's not in the room.
Just making sure I understood correct.
Yeah, our 5th member, I'm sorry, you are correct.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, let me then move quickly to the few top items here. We have minutes before us of 1 September. I would ask for a motion to approve same.
One September? They're there.
Yep. We'll do them first. No motion?
Motion to accept?
Yeah,
Motion to accept.
Okay, do I have a second?
second.
Any
No
discussion?
No.
Okay. There being none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, I will sign and we'll get these over to Sandy. Unanimous. And welcome Jeff Tillotson.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you.
Apologize for being tardy.
Yeah, it's all right. We move at the speed of government.
Did all the important stuff before I got here, I
Whatever
hope.
the speed of government is, we're not sure. But. Okay, I have minutes of September 22nd, which again, as you know, the actual meeting of the 22nd was not a formal meeting of the planning board. But I felt it wise, as we did, to inform you how that discussion went and the ongoing review of our working group. So just to be in good order, this really doesn't need our vote. I've just signed them as an official transcript of what happened on the 22nd.
We can receive them, so we're-
Say again?
we can officially receive them, if you'd like. That way it's still...
Yeah. So let me ask for a motion to accept the September 22nd transcription of our working group meeting as presented.
I wasn't there, but...
Neither was I.
Oh, move. I'm sorry, so move,
Okay.
Mr. Chair.
And a second? Did I hear a second?
I'll second.
Okay.
Receiving.
Any discussion then? Again, we'll do this as a record, and at some point we'll, hopefully the process, as you know, is to improve our efficiency, so we'll get there someday. Good. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None? Unanimous. Good. All right, Jeff, on your agenda, we just before you come in the room, we just amended it to have Sue Kennedy come up as an interested member of the town and citizenry to become a member of the planning board. So I thought it appropriate for her to come down and talk to us, and hopefully we can make that happen. Come on down, Sue, get a comfortable chair. Sue is already, by way of a brief introduction from me, is a member of our 4th of July committee. And I heard from a roundabout mutual friend that you're, let me say, well-versed in government goings-on, and the fact that you're interested in the planning board, I struck at that hot poker right away, because we definitely need a 5th member, so. Would you like to just open up and tell the board what?
Okay, I'll start again because Jeffrey wasn't here before, but I am new to town. I've only been here 6 months, and I'm a little nervous about that, but I thought, it'd be a great way to learn.
Yeah.
So may I interrupt you?
About,
I was here 3 months when I joined the planning board.
Oh, okay, so it's not that
Yeah.
actually crazy.
Yeah.
So I'm not feeling like I have strong opinions, but I love working groups. I lived in.
I think you're on the master plan committee as well, are you not?
I've been trying, I guess, their
Attending?
meetings.
Yeah,
and-
yeah, so that's what we need. We can, and I rather guess from your background, from what I know, that we probably won't have to train you up very much for you to fit right in.
I
In
was
terms
on
of your
the
legal
East
expertise.
Acton Village, planning committee. Is that what you're talking about? Or the politics?
No, you're interested in government and past experience. You want to elaborate a little bit on
Yeah,
that?
I'm on the Democratic State Committee.
Yeah.
And
We won't hold that.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
actually a
You got to
member-
it. I got to it quicker than
I
you
know,
did.
We're all
I had
Republicans.
to run that one. I thought that's what you were hinting at.
Well, no, but it speaks to your governmental understanding of, and that's really what the planning board is in essence like being a lawyer.
And
if it fits, it fits. If it doesn't,
I'm a member of the Electoral College, so I'm actually the Honorable Susan Kennedy.
Congratulations.
Excellent,
Nice.
excellent, yeah. I'm the retired Honorable Jim Fay from the Selectmen, but
Ah,
they don't use that honorable part with me anymore. It's too bad. Anyway, carry
I'm
on.
married to Commissioner Tillotson.
So I was on the East Acton Village.
I'm not honorable
Planning
at anything.
Committee, and we wrote up our own village plan and did it ourselves, and which
Yeah.
was, actually, most of it was wordsmithing.
Yeah.
Spending, years going over which verb to use
Yeah,
and like that, but learned a lot from that and
Yeah.
understand some of the language
yeah,
of what's involved. And I also was about 15 years on the Acton Conservation Land Trust, and I think I'm probably still the vice president.
so you certainly know the area, may not know Ayer specific.
Air
but
was always in my district.
within, okay, yeah, so you know enough to
Yeah, on
take
the
care of
state
business.
committee.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I know some folks, and that's,
Good
and
for you.
I'm loving this town.
Yeah. Well, we're currently
town.
involved, as you can see from what we just approved on our working group for the planning board operations and regulations. We're going through a process of revising to some degree everything we do and how we do it to make it better. So that your attention to detail in that regard of wordsmithing and background would assist us greatly. Yeah. Do you have any questions of the board? I mean, I think
Not right now. I
Yeah.
read through this stuff and been reading some stuff online, and there really is a
Yeah,
lot
yeah.
to learn. I did walk up to Cambridge and Norwood.
Yeah. No, and you come at a good time, like Sandy.
And there's a
for-
former selectman that lives right on the corner there too, so.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah, Sandy, for example, just enrolled in some classes, and we continually offer in-house training, on what we do, how we do. So
Yeah,
you would certainly become part of that based on what will happen next, hopefully, if the board agrees, is we'll move toward a joint appointment of the planning board and board of selectmen. Yeah, and at that time, if you haven't already, have you submitted your letter of interest to the board of selectmen?
yes.
Okay, good. So that's the beginning, and then you'll sit down with 3 more players and go through the process of the joint meeting of the board and the planning board, hopefully. So-
And in the meantime, it's probably a good idea to attend the meetings. and
Oh,
try
most
to
assuredly. I'm
really
glad you
catch
showed up. Like I
what's-
said, that speaks volumes. Yeah, if you want to be one, ask one. That's a common phrase, right? So, questions, comments from the board? Mark?
I think her qualifications meet. She's living, breathing, and lives in the air. I'm in
For
favor.
At least 3 months.
I'm in favor.
Yeah. No, it's the interest that, I started out as an interested citizen, 20 years ago, and I've been on every committee 3 times.
We still find you interesting too, Jim. So, if I may, I'd like to
Yeah.
move that the board nominate or accept Susan Kennedy as the 5th member. That the motion you're looking for?
Well, I was yes,
too-
yeah,
are we
let's
too
do
quick?
that.
Well, actually,
Jen,
we
did you have any
can't nominate,
questions, or-
we can't nominate her, we can,
Happy
No.
to have you, for sure.
yes, definitely.
Not sure what the language is, but I think that's my way of saying
We
it.
have to
Yeah, no.
It has
Yeah, that way we can have
move
a
forward to
second.
the
Yeah,
selectmen's
let's
meeting.
say that, in the way of a motion, it would be, the board moves that we find Susan Kennedy, is it Susan?
Yeah.
Yeah, Susan Kennedy to be an acceptable applicant to the planning board, and
Support her appointment.
we will move forward with the process for appointment.
So moved.
Okay, second?
Second.
All right.
Give it to Jen tonight.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Good, unanimous.
Welcome.
So again, based on that, I will communicate, and Sandy, jot this down. We'll send out an email requesting the earliest is October 18th available for the board to attend a joint meeting of the Board of Selectmen on October 18th? Are you good for that, Mark?
I think so.
October 18th. Be October 18th at 7 PM.
I will not, you have to tarry on without me.
Are you good for October 18th?
Tuesday night?
Yes.
Okay. Are you good for November 1st? I would certainly prefer to have you there.
Yeah, unfortunately, I am doing an annual meeting for a condominium on the 18th. The first, let me double check, thank you.
November 1st works for me.
It does?
Yep.
Does it work for you, Jen?
I do not.
It's probably a
know, because we
Tuesday.
haven't
It's
set-
probably a Tuesday.
Which is when my board meets.
Oh, that's not good.
It's every other Tuesday, so, and with the
18th
election.
is.
Yeah, because the other is a Tuesday also.
Yeah, you know what, let's not slow it down.
Okay,
I'll
let's,
be in absence
Sandy,
on
let's
the
go for the
18th
18th.
And then
Let's-
Yeah, I
let's
think
get
over
Susan
there,
done
happy.
for
Yeah, most
November
assuredly,
meeting.
you want to have a quorum,
Yeah.
I mean, even though we're light of player, you're still, 3 is the,
Yeah, you can't tell when I'm in the room anyway.
but, yeah,
Thanks.
no, good,
Yeah.
okay, well, there you go. So you've got that motion in the minutes, and we'll have hopefully a meeting on October 18th at 7. Is that good for you, Sue?
That's great for me.
Excellent. Okay, my friend, welcome, and we look forward to working with you.
Where do you live, Sue?
On Nashua Street, I can walk down here.
Wow.
Wow.
Good for you.
This is great.
Yeah. Good. Thank you very much.
Thank you very
Where
much.
in Nashua, is it?
5 Nashua.
5 Nashua, okay.
I live next door to Stephanie.
Get next.
The
That's how I found out.
Oh, okay, good.
the
Yeah,
walk here is easy, the walk
Yeah.
back is tough.
Oh,
Yeah, if you could at some point.
Especially during the winter.
Give Sandy your contact information. I know I've got your phone number, but everything will flow through Sandy in terms of what,
okay. You have my phone number, and you do. Yes.
okay, good. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Now, you're certainly welcome to stay with the goings-on
I
tonight.
will. Just going to-
Don't run off. Okay, good.
Let me just check.
6:17, do I see
Check
our
my
applicant
phone.
in the room? I don't think I do.
Is Judy on her way?
Jim,
Catania Spagna?
will you give me your cell phone so I can tell you if I'm
Oh, yes.
late or
Yeah.
missing or otherwise unoccupied? Or...
Yep.
Judy Barrett would be next, Jim, and then,
Yeah, she's not here.
Yeah, we can pass over her though, because the
Alan,
A&R is not a
are you
hearing
representing
scheduled.
the Cambridge Street?
And we're on for 6:15 with the public hearing, so,
Well, it is my property, that's,
Dan,
yeah, Stan.
Well, I'm here for it, but I'm unofficial, not
yeah.
the applicant.
for the A and R.
Okay, well, given that Judy's not here, and given that Tanya is not here, we shall continue to move along. 'Cause
The
they-
seats should be-
And if they come in, when they come in,
The
we'll,
A and R is here.
right, that's why I'm moving on.
Oh, two, okay.
Who's here from Catania, Spania?
No, A and R is Cambridge.
Oh,
Street.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's-
that's next, okay.
Yep.
All right. We have a application for an A&R from Parker Family Trust, 225 Wiley Road, corner of Norwood and Cambridge Street. Did everybody get a peek at the Cambridge Street and plan? Questions by the board? Oh, I'm sorry. Well, no, yeah, questions by the board. Oh, Alan, I'm sorry. Come on down, if you choose to.
I'm here. What's that?
Are you here on?
Stan.
Oh,
I'm the surveyor.
I'm looking at Alan. Okay, who's the
I just came to see it. Never met. Yeah, I know, yeah.
who's getting in the hot seat?
What is it?
Okay, if you could introduce
It's an
yourself.
A&R.
Stan Dillis from Blue Sherman Dillis.
Okay.
I prepared the plan for Alan.
Okay, excellent. All right. Well, let me go right to two lots, which it is. Frontage occurs where? On Cambridge Street or Norwood Ave, or
Yes.
both?
On one lot on both.
Okay. Questions by the board then? If it fits, it fits.
Well, maybe you could just describe exactly what's going on, what's
Mhm.
happening, why.
There's two existing parcels,
Mhm.
and one parcel goes right to that garage. So we're jogging the lot line around the garage so that it meets the setback requirement.
So this is the-
No use or anything
No,
happening?
no, just two, it's two parcels now, it's gonna be two lots.
The intention is to do something with that lot? Sell it or build on
I
it?
believe so, yeah.
Mhm.
So you just, this dog leg is the moving of the line, right?
Right.
Yep.
That dash line you see that goes right to the
Right.
garage is the existing line of the two parcels.
And lot 2 remains conforming with the exchange?
Yes, yes.
Right. Do you have a Sharpie, Sandy? Did you bring a Sharpie with you by chance?
No, I didn't.
Good man, good man.
What?
Thank you.
What surveyor doesn't carry a Sharpie,
Really?
right?
I've got a black pen, but not.
Well, a lot of times folks will say,
Yeah.
come back and we'll sign. I rather prefer once it, just do it right away. So, questions by the board, if any?
Who owns lot 2?
Mr. Parker.
Yep.
He owns both those parcels.
And how come you didn't want to just straighten out the lots? Just make them more.
Say that again?
I just was wondering why you didn't want to straighten out the lot a little bit more instead of having.
Just to get the minimum area on lot 2, it's 12,000 square feet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you did it to get the 100-foot frontage.
Right.
Those 16 square feet would be unimportant except for the 100-foot frontage.
I don't have any issues.
Nope, I'm good.
20 years from now, the
Um,
neighbors won't even know about it.
Could I have a motion that says, plan of land, map and reference? Plan of land-
Corner of Norwood and Cambridge Street.
Well, I need map 27, parcel
It's map
45 and 47.
Right.
Yeah. A motion to agree that the map of land known as parcel, map 27, parcel 45 and 47 are approval not required under the subdivision control law of the planning board.
So moved.
Can I have a second? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, good. Now we can step up and sign in.
Can you also just make sure that the date of the claim gets included in the motion too?
Plans dated, August 3rd, 2016. Is that correct?
Yes, yeah. You got that, Sandy?
Yep, August 3rd,
Yeah.
2016.
In the motion, August 3rd, 2016. Good catch, Jim.
When we bought our house.
Me too. I know,
Everett Guthrie did in our land.
Yeah.
I finally said to the title company,
How many we got here?
if you guys will insure it, I'll buy it.
Five.
I'm done. If the title insurance company will pick up title insurance on it, we're never going to figure out what he
Hopefully
did.
that does that.
And he's not around to tell us, and if he
Oh,
told us,
yeah,
we wouldn't
right. Well, we
understand.
got more upstairs, but
They're selling the house next door.
I think we might have to run upstairs. You don't have a copy with you, do you?
Jim, I can go get one.
I think this did run out.
Find a point ones don't like this side of the mile.
Okay.
So we don't have a Sharpie?
Yeah, but it's dry.
That'll probably work on the paper copies.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so does the pen.
It doesn't like the finer point ones don't like the mile.
And Judy Barrett is on her way, Jim. She's just stuck in traffic.
Okay.
And so I texted you from Bedford. Thank you.
I usually
Yeah,
get-
this
I
is,
usually get a text from you too.
Just
You were
real
sure,
quick.
you were sure I was coming? Let me see, he's missed the last three, he's bound to be. What action going on in town tonight?
Yeah, we'll sign this one when Sandy comes back. So how are things in lovely downtown Carlisle?
Nice, actually, yeah. Today I decided to go into a little common area. We had a nice sandwich, Reuben sandwich.
Yeah.
Farms, country stuff.
Nice.
It's just interesting to leave little sandwich.
Very residential. I don't know what, I don't even know where, unless it's near Kimball Farm. I don't know where
Everything is just
downtown.
right there in this little
Carlisle, what is it?
circle. One day,
General store.
realtor, country store, sandwich shop, that's a cute piece of butter. They have spiders up on the roof right now for Halloween. It's adorable.
You got to.
So you have to,
Jim, just sign your name slowly. It works fine. Slowly.
oh, okay.
with Crabtree.
They have good sandwiches in that little store in Carlisle.
Thank you. I had the Reuben sandwich today. I almost took a nap at 3 o'clock.
It's a piece of land. So we cut 4 acres.
You used to be on Park Street,
Right.
with Tom Gibbons.
Exactly, yeah.
You're out of there to fill it with money.
I recognize the name. I remember the face of the man.
The soil off.
I don't know if he was the Shaman Dillis.
I'm jealous.
No.
So I had a partner that
One of my guys told me.
because he passed away 13 years ago.
Right, yeah. I was on the board years and years ago, so use this one?
I used one of those, a little fatter point.
Oh, okay.
It's gonna grow back natural.
Is Larry the Duchamp still?
It's his son.
I mean, they-
Still not working for him?
Slow,
Old brick.
slow.
He's not convinced it's the pen.
Don't work for me.
There's oil on the Mylar.
Okay, I see. Can't write fast. Okay, I think that's,
It still needs to be dated.
who's missing?
And Jeff,
Are you gonna
and
date
Jeff.
it like that?
We need a date, that's all.
Huh?
A date.
The date of the bond.
Did Jeff sign?
No, no, he's convincing.
Here we go again.
I did, I wanted to give you the sign somewhere, so I won't listen to my voice. voicemail? 'Cause I know you're on it. We're good.
Well, because they CC'd the whole conservation. I sent it to
Oh my goodness.
Brian, and Brian sent it out all the conservation.
I love it.
But it's not under their jurisdiction.
Okay.
I wasn't
No?
sure where.
Yeah, we have one.
Well,
Okay.
the wetlands is delineated.
Okay.
Try that
looks
one
more
again.
like
That one
10.
worked on paper pretty
So
well.
it's outside of the.
It looks more like 10, 16, 16, but
My issue, the whole issue's up there is, you know, they just go ahead and do stuff. They don't tell us what they're doing. And I gotta.
They can't
put
be that
something-
fast,
I say,
but
we're
I
not
was
construction. We're gonna go through what you're doing, when you're doing it,
It's
how
not
we're
a
doing
bucket
inspection.
rocket.
They really do.
That's just seems to be rolling forward 10 years.
And, you know, when Mr. Brogan was on the planning board here, he told these-
Did you see Lenny
said
Cole?
he's in the farm.
This
We don't
week?
need it.
No. Where?
It's called Crazy Train, the show. There's a, you can see it, you have to see it. I mean, it's just beautiful. He's got so much material with the elections.
Oh,
Yep.
that,
I was laughing
Yeah,
so
they're
much, but
lucky
he's got
ladies.
this young kid that's, does the first, beforehand.
yeah.
He's a young kid, funny. He
Is
was
it
like
beforehand?
self-commentating.
Where was it?
It was at Fulham.
They gave him a long
And he's
name.
coming back in December. And it's still listed as Crazy Train. It's fiction.
It's colder as we move
Try it.
forward. I should probably mile last.
Are you with Catania Spania?
I am.
You want the paper copies? The paper copies are yours.
No.
Yeah, we need the boundary.
Catania Spania. Read that, other thing.
Want my glasses too?
Jim's not here yet.
Literally seconds away.
So I have to open up the public
Where's-
hearing.
Where is conservation meeting tonight? And by the way, Jim, I'm married to a commissioner.
I'm sorry?
I'm married to Commissioner Tillotson. But I'm not honorable yet.
File this under, gun. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to, we have a public hearing originally, well, not originally, it was scheduled for 6:15, and now that the applicant is in the room, I would ask the representative for Catania Spine to come forward.
We're 6:45, so we can run 2 more people.
I thought it was 6:15.
Judy was
6:15 is Judy Barrett.
Oh, okay, I stand corrected. Okay, well, never mind. Well,
Well, let's get something else out of the way.
You want to go to the administrative announcements?
Yeah.
for who?
The administrative announcements?
Be a solo meeting.
Well, Catania Spania is actually Nemco Way, isn't it?
Yes.
Or not? I mean, so
Yes.
that's, let's wait on that. Okay, let me cover some administrative items on the agenda. If I can find my agenda. Did you read that? Here it is. We'll cover some of the administrative things so we don't waste time. 41 East Main was an issue that has been around for a while, going back to December '09, to my knowledge, wherein there was a question as to whether it was a site plan or whether it was an A&R or whether it was anything. And the fact is, it was neither. It was never a formal A&R, it was never a site plan. And there was some discussions, I won't bore you with the details, but there was much conversation and correspondence between 41 East Main and the planning board from December '09 to present. Now, absent a formal A&R and absent a full site plan review, for whatever reason, the applicant, justified or not, thought that neither was required. But in fact, there was, in the minutes of January 2010, a vote of the planning board at the time to have a site plan conducted. There was never one conducted. And the particular plan in question, by virtue of what it wants to be when it is complete, is something that definitely fits the site plan requirement. And again, keep in mind that the site plan requirement is purely the purview of the planning board. So I don't think I need to rehash the I will call it the voluminous correspondence between the applicant and the planning board. I will simply say that I would like the planning board of today to codify by a vote the January 2010 vote, which was unanimous, to say that the 41 East Main Street project requires site plan review. Now, before you think about that motion, know that everything is almost all in place already. All it is now a matter of the project needs a mechanism whereby the planning board can certify that everything is covered. And the site plan review is the process by which that can be done. Then we can sign a set of plans, and we'll have a formal document that we can send to the town clerk and send to DPW and the regular distribution of plans that we do, so that everybody now knows what's going on. Because right now, whatever happens at 41 East Main, they need the formal approval, the written approval, and the signatures, I dare say, of the planning board before it goes forward.
Was this the one with the gazebo?
Yeah. Yeah. So, over the course of, I know,
At the CPC last night.
it came up again?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't really apologize to the applicant when I appeared before the Board of Health, which I did on your behalf, and I mean, what I mean by that is on the planning board's behalf, as your chair, when I said, look, this should have been a site plan review. Nothing happened after January 2010 until recently, and unfortunately, you got some bad advice. I mean, somebody may have told Mark Sater that he didn't have to do a site plan. Well, the fact is, he does.
But he got building permits and it's self-constructed?
Say again?
You're saying-
There are no permits issued yet.
Oh.
And there won't be until,
Right.
and there shouldn't be, based on the information we now have before us, which is all of those elements of a site plan review. Drainage and...
This whole thing was an odd thing from the start,
Yeah, yeah,
and he
Yeah.
modified it a few times.
yeah, yeah. Because, being silent, if you will, from the January 2010 to all of a sudden 2015 or 16, whatever got...
Other things
other things, the whole thing changed.
Yeah.
So now we need to take a fresh look at everything, and so I would ask you to, I need a motion to, and the motion would basically say, we codify the vote of January 2010 that requires 41 East Main to apply for a site plan review.
So moved.
Seconded.
Any further discussion? I would just ask you,
This is the right thing
and
to
I've
do.
already asked Sandy to notify
It's
the
the right thing to
applicant
do.
in terms of probably putting this on the November agenda, because I don't want to belabor him, the applicant, any more than
No.
he's already been belabored for whatever reason. But all of the information is in-house to get this done, probably inside of an hour in November, at our November meeting. So if the applicant, Sandy, can respond in time, we'll get him here on our November agenda.
I'll notify them.
And I can add
Mark,
to that.
Come on down, Mark.
Mr. Chair. So, Mr. Sater came to me months ago and said he didn't require site plan review. I wanted to know about water and sewer and
Right,
stuff.
right,
And I
right,
said,
right.
well, you're in the aquifer zone, you're gonna need a special permit.
Right.
So he's in that process right now. I've met with him probably 4 times and revised his
Right, yeah.
site plan to make sure that the stormwater management infiltrates 100% of the water and treats 100% of
Yeah.
the water that needs to be treated.
Yeah.
And there are some issues with his water and sewer layout that we need to address, but he's getting closer to what we
Right.
want. But so as far as an engineering site plan review, we've
It's all
gone
been
through
done.
this quite
Yeah,
a bit, so
yeah,
it won't take a
yeah.
lot of time for us to
Right.
give you a recommendation,
Right.
other than maybe some dimensional issues or things like
Right.
that.
And I dare say, as soon as that happens, then everything opens up for the applicant in the way of permits. So that's why I'd like to have them on the November agenda.
If I remember correctly, he changed from one lot to two lots.
It's still one
In
lot.
one
but
lot
there's
was an
there's
A&R.
right now it's still a single lot, but it's gonna have 3 structures on
Yeah.
it. So one is a 3-family,
We've looked at
that's
this
gonna
not
be
too long ago.
Yeah.
a 2-family, and then there's gonna be
be.
2
Yes.
duplex units.
And isn't this right next to Ruth's house?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, okay. On the corner there.
Okay?
Yeah.
I don't think I called the vote, did I?
No.
Yeah. So let me call the vote on the motion.
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous.
Yep.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Mark.
Thank you. The guy can get
I've still got 5 minutes to, I don't know that 5 minutes is enough for Miss Judy Barrett. Come on
Hi,
down.
how are you?
I do have a public hearing to open up at 6:45, so how does that fit?
Traffic was definitely not conducive to this trip tonight.
Yeah.
Going on the road
So good to see you again. I don't know if you remember me,
I
but
most certainly do. It was nice to
we
see you too.
worked together, what, 18 years ago? And who knew?
Oh, at least, yeah, exactly, yes.
Well, welcome back. Welcome back.
Thank you. So, Jen and I had talked, and it seemed like it was probably a smart idea to sort of touch base and figure out where you guys want to go with the revision and sort of what timeline you want to do it. I mean, I got comments, the comments that you had forwarded to me, and I think I got back to you in a memo. I guess the question is, that I'm wrestling with, is how far does the board want to go in terms of trying to add things to this bylaw? Because I think what we originally talked about was trying to take what was taken to town meeting in 2011 and then withdrawn, get back to town meeting and get it hopefully passed this time.
Right.
So, but a lot of the comments that are coming in really have to do with sort of policy things that have come up since then, like, should we have a 40R district or something? I mean, all this stuff
Right,
is these are
right.
good ideas, but
Right.
really way beyond, I think, what we were talking about. And so I just need some direction, I think, about, if there's something that you added to your zoning since 2011 that I didn't have, that isn't in that draft, like medical marijuana or something like that, that should be added.
Through those pretty much. Yeah,
That
medical
should be
marijuana
added.
was added.
Right, that stuff should be added, because you don't want to lose that, you've already
Yeah.
done that. But I'm worried about, I think, maybe managing expectations with the public and just managing expectations perhaps with other boards and so forth, that we're not really trying to reopen this whole thing and add a lot of things to it, I think, but.
Well, the contract scope is very limited as well.
Yeah, if I might, and tell me if I'm off the mark here, my colleagues. We've set, as a result of, from May of this year, we've set a year to go through all of our policy, procedure, and regulations and requirements. And then capsulate that to define what we want to do administratively and what we want to do by way of bylaw. And the lion's share of that is actually already completed by way of having DPW attend our working group,
Yeah.
which they did.
Good.
And now that, I think we've given them until January or February, not that we've put it on a timeline, but we've kind of said that I think by January or February of next year, we should be ready for putting together something for town meeting. Now, I haven't discussed this yet, but I will tell my board, I mentioned it maybe in passing. It is my personal belief that anything related to zoning should go by way of the fall town meeting or the special town meeting. Because it's been my experience, and I have that experience of going to Springtown meeting and getting cut off because the omnibus took up the whole thing and everybody left and said goodnight. So
Yeah. We're all in
it
there.
really works better for me, especially this time, because, Jen and I worked on the map for eons, and
Yes,
the
I
map
remember.
still needs work, so,
Oh, really?
yeah. So, anyway, to get something to you for final cut to bring to town meeting probably won't occur until March March of next year.
Does the map,
And we're trying to meet every month to
Sure.
meet that timeline.
so is the map work separable from the bylaw work? In other words,
Yes, it would be, yeah.
is this around where the boundaries actually are for certain districts?
And I think in the bylaw, and then I'll open up to the board a bit, the bylaw for me, most of what DPW is going to give us is going to change the bylaw. Because we want to require things like smart streets and not just by way of policy.
Yeah,
We
right.
want to put that in the bylaw so that eventually we can say, when an applicant comes in, this is not just the arbitrary capricious opinion of the planning board. This is the bylaw of the town. We
Yeah.
want this and we want this.
You'll want to, I think, as you continue to have these discussions,
Mhm.
always have a couple of buckets in mind. One is what has to be in the bylaw and what can be handled by regulation.
Mhm.
Because I think the worst thing you can do is sort of unwittingly wanting to have it in the bylaw so everybody understands this is the law, but then as you work with something new, sometimes you need to tweak it. And
Right,
if it's in the bylaw, the only way you can tweak it is to go back to town meeting. Whereas if
Right.
the bylaw provides the authority for
Right.
for the sake of this conversation, I'll say complete streets
Right.
design. If the bylaw provides the authority for that, then the planning board administratively can have regulations to implement it, but they don't necessarily have to be in the zoning bylaw.
right. Well, that's where we need to get to, and we need to get there by way of, by practice.
Yeah,
By saying, look, in the last six, well, you used to do this, you used to do that. Yeah, but in the last 6 months, we don't do that anymore.
right.
So then, like you say, then it fits into the bylaw very nicely because, well, that's the way we do business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So what can I do to be helpful to you at this point? I mean, there's some stuff I can put in here that was not in here in 2011 that you've done since then. I can add those pieces to this, but I'm not sure what else to do at this point, other than to sit tight and wait for you to tell me what more you want me to do.
The
or
one
just-
question that jumps out in my mind is keeping in mind, if you will, that I helped write the bylaw that put the SPGA in the Board of Health, Jane Witherow and I, years ago. And now I find that there's a legal question as
There
to
is a
whether
legal
that's.
question. There is a legal question.
So I would love to know the answer to that.
I said it needs to be referred to town council.
Okay,
Yeah, I mean, I can tell you what the statute says. The statute says who can grant special permits. The Board of Health is not in that list.
right.
So, and I was sensing a lot of uneasiness about trying to take that away from them, and
So that jumps out to me right away as something we've got to change.
I think you need to find out from town council whether you need to change it. Because I was
Okay.
getting a lot of pushback when I brought it
Okay.
up, and I
Okay.
thought, okay, I'm just the consultant,
Okay.
don't shoot the messenger. I think you need to refer this to town council, and if town council says, well, the statute, allows but doesn't disable, then you can have whoever you want, fine, but I feel compelled to bring it up.
Sandy, put 2 asterisks by that, would you? And we'll, I mean, obviously, I think, well, I won't say what I think because it doesn't really pertain, but I will find out how the Board of Health feels about that.
Yeah.
Because I know that they think that there's a trigger in the Wetlands Protection Act that says they can do that. But
It's a
that's,
separate issue, wetlands
Separate
protection,
issue.
separate issue from zoning. Totally separate, they're just separate jurisdictions.
yeah, okay.
So,
Okay.
that's all I'm
No,
trying
and
to
the whole
say,
clean water thing and where it,
but it's separate from zoning.
okay.
So I've got to look at chapter 40A, that's the
Yeah,
thing to
okay.
which we respond, and
Okay,
40A is very clear about who can grant special permits. Your bylaw right now is different from that, and rather than duke it out, I just said,
yeah,
refer this to
let's
town
go to
council.
council and see what it's,
And do it before you get this on town meeting floor, because if this thing passes and then it goes to the Attorney General comes back and says you can't do this,
yeah.
You got a problem,
That's
so better to
you
know
gotta
now.
Do it all over again, right, okay.
right,
Well, my thinking, when we asked Judy to come back and help us out again, was that when we hired her in the beginning, she did an exhaustive look at the zoning and cleaned it up per the Attorney General's recommendations.
Mhm.
So a year ago, or maybe a year and a half ago, the board decided that we've at least got to get a bylaw that we can work from to make the changes and keep up with the trends and what the community wants moving forward, obviously after this next master plan. But we got to start somewhere.
Mhm.
So we wanted to limit
the scope.
the scope just to address the issues with the Attorney General.
Well, we-
and zoning bylaws that have passed since then, or changes at the statutory level.
I
We
think,
limited it at that, and then we want to move forward and make some other changes, but we gotta start somewhere.
well, also to, just going back, and thank you for that. Part of what we were trying to do in the proposed bylaw was get you something that you could build on. That would be easy to amend, easy to add to. The bylaw you have right now is a lot of formatting issues with. And my concern for you is that when you start trying to add stuff to a structure that's messed up, you create all kinds of potential administrative problems and conflicting language problems. So we were trying to just get something that was a consistent format too. That's a lot of what this is. So it's fine, it's totally up to you when you want to take this to town meeting. I get it about, every town is different. Some towns say you have to take zoning to the annual town meeting, and others say, oh God, don't do that because the whole thing's about the budget. That's a political call for you. I guess I just want to know what I can do to be helpful while you're working on these other things that you're doing.
Well, I think just that, yeah.
I think we'll muddy the waters a little bit if we start adding more stuff.
Yeah.
If I were to say scrub our current bylaw with and put in any of the missing pieces based on current legal standing.
Well, we did that.
Okay.
But
That's
what
all
we
right.
need to do, the problem is that between 2011 when we were here,
Mhm.
and now you've added some other things to your zoning that's not in the 2011 draft. And we can add those in, that's fine.
Okay.
But when people are asking about some other kind of higher order policy questions, which I think that Public Works, I think it was Public Works, had asked about, those are all good questions, but I think they're really beyond the scope of what we can do right now.
Okay.
But I think what you really need right now is a bylaw that you can actually add things to with minimal or no risk of conflicting provisions elsewhere. That was the goal. I mean, when we were hired way back when, we were supposed to help try to implement recommendations of the master plan. And there had been a phase 1 process that was supposed to be like a recodification. And so when we started working on this and we looked at the recodification, we said, this isn't going to work. So we stepped back and said, we're going to recodify this, really recodify this time. And then we'll also start adding pieces in that you wanted from the master plan. And there were some pieces that probably didn't make it in, but others did, you know. So that's what the 2011 proposal to town meeting was. It was a complete cleanup
Okay.
to that point in time.
That's another thing that we're going to wait. I don't know exactly what the, and I need to move on to my
I
public hearing.
understand, I
but
know, that's fine.
one of the things that we have to get input from, of course, is our current master planning committee, which is, I think, 15 or 20 people strong. So at some point, Jeff, as soon as you know you've got input toward this effort here from the planning committee,
We'll move forward as quickly as we can.
I don't know, I hope it's not more than a year, but I hope that we can meet, at least in my mind, I think we can meet September of 17's special town meeting for zoning and
That might be, I don't know. It might be doable.
yeah, so,
We'll see.
because everybody takes the summer off. and-
But I don't think this is going to conflict with anything you guys are doing.
It probably, I don't know
Okay.
for a fact.
That's what I mean, I don't either. so-
But I think, I mean, I wouldn't want a zoning bylaw update, which would really benefit the community, to
Mhm.
wait for, it's a fairly large group that's working on stuff right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think if they can be separated, it's probably the right thing to do.
Okay.
And, codifying the bylaw is a really important piece to it.
yeah,
And being able to add things in, wastewater management, things like stormwater management, things like that are an important portion to it.
Yeah.
We need to get that going. We need to have the tools we need to move forward
That's right.
with or without the master plan.
yeah.
I agree.
And I don't, for all the people in the master plan committee with me, please don't be upset by what I'm saying, but we as a board have to move forward, so I think it's
Yeah.
an
We need a
important
functional
piece.
bylaw.
True.
And yeah,
Okay.
and I think a functional bylaw would be,
All right.
here we are messing around with something for 9 years, 8 years.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
Let's stop
yeah.
it.
And stuff in the beginning, under the definitions conflicts
Yeah.
in the back.
Oh, I've read the
Oh,
bylaw.
it's scary.
So-
I know, the back of it is really,
Yeah,
Yeah, so,
so that seems to be the marching order right now is to,
I'd like to see it move forward then.
Yeah.
Even if we could get it on this fall town meeting, because really, I think the message is it's just to codify what we have.
when's your
Okay.
fall
To
town
address
meeting?
The issues.
normally it's October, I believe, September, October. Is that about right?
Right.
I mean, it's a special town meeting,
Maybe we
so,
could enlist your
it's set.
help to help us get that message out there.
yeah.
24th.
But this won't make it,
October,
this is
yeah.
gonna
Well,
get,
we're gonna-
Warrant's closed.
Yeah,
Not
the warrant
for this
closed.
special.
Oh, it did?
Yeah,
They weren't
no,
closed.
I'm not talking about spring of next year, I'm talking about,
Fall next year.
Fall of
17.
2017,
Well,
yeah.
can't we ask for just a special meeting?
Can you, do you
well,
do
we
it?
can, we don't know, but that's what we would be doing, like I
We just
said.
need to
my
get
goal-
55 of our
my
friends in
goal
the room.
is to stay away from the omnibus, because that takes up the Springtown meeting. And set us separate,
Okay.
and I think maybe if we've got high-ticket items or special items that really you want to, and usually there were, because we used to do, that's the way we used to do it.
Yeah.
In the spring, we do the omnibus, and in the fall, we would buy big-ticket items and do zoning. But that was then, and this is now, so anyway.
I mean, does your town, a lot of towns I work in have also the convention of having a special town meeting kind of paired with the annual, because there are things that need to be done in this fiscal year.
Right,
Whereas the
exactly.
annual affects everything for July 1 forward. So
Right.
if you have a special within the annual so-called, you
Yeah.
might be able to take this
Yeah.
up then.
Yeah. Well, I strongly believe we can easily, or at least we can achieve that goal, because, like I said, the interest of the current master plan committee tells me that the town wants a strong planning board and a strong zoning
Yeah.
effort behind that to do the things that the future requires. So I think we can do that.
All right.
So,
So why don't I then, I know you need to open a public hearing. Why don't I go ahead and just add those pieces that haven't happened since 2011 and I'll send it back to you. You get hold of town council and get an opinion on the Board of Health issue, and whatever they say is fine, I just want to know.
Good, good.
And I'll
Good,
park
good.
it until you tell me what you want me to do.
Okay,
In terms of further.
excellent. Judy, thank you so much.
Thank
Mark, you
you.
have a question?
Mr. Chair, just to make a comment, because when we had a meeting back last spring, I think, and I reviewed the existing subdivision regs and some of the proposed, and I did make some comments, and I'm by no means an expert on subdivision regulations, but my feeling was that a lot has changed or is changing in our community since 2011.
Mm-hmm,
And
mm-hmm. Oh, yeah,
those
yeah,
things, we shouldn't just try to push the 2011 through. We
right,
gotta take a look at what other things do we want to put in there.
right.
And I just got the feeling from that hearing that it was gonna be, well, we've already done all this work, so we're gonna get this approved. This is what I was told by the chair at the time. Well, let's get this approved and then we'll make changes to it. And
Well,
I
that's,
think-
that's basically what we just said now, I
Right.
thought, is that.
But I think you're gonna miss an opportunity because then you're gonna wait another 10 years to make changes to it. So
Well,
I think the planning board needs to say, what do we want this town to be and how do we make our subdivision regulations, or our zoning bylaw, help us create that rather than having to wait.
yeah, but I have to polish the cornerstone on which to build that,
Right.
and that's what we're doing right now.
I'm just giving my opinion. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I agree, I know where you're coming from, that's,
I think you're both saying the same thing.
yeah,
Things that are 30 years old.
You're setting it up so we can make modifications along the way.
And there are some things in here that the board wanted us to do, which was the mixed-use district. I mean, there are some policy changes in here.
Yeah.
But the first order of business was cleaning up the existing bylaw, because really, you don't, you need a good foundation to work from. This is how towns get into trouble.
right.
When they have a weak foundation and they try to add new provisions to it, and then they have a problem administering them. So I don't think anybody in here is in disagreement, it's just a question of when.
Right.
Right, okay.
All right, so you have a hearing to open, so I'll just focus on that then and get it to you,
Okay.
and we can talk offline.
Judy, thanks so much.
Thank
Look
Thank
forward
you, nice
working
to
with
see
you.
everybody.
Yep.
Thanks for making the drive.
Oh, no problem. No, believe it. Crazy. All right, take care, guys.
Mark, do you still have the announcement for, okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we're now going to open up the public hearing for Catania Spania, which the clerk will read.
Yeah, it says clerk right there.
Can you hold this for me? Legal notice, Ayer Planning Board will hold a public hearing on October 6, 2016 at 6 p.m. at the Ayer Town Hall, 1 Main Street, Ayer, Mass. Pursuant to MGL Chapter 41, the subject property is Catania Spania Corporation, CSC, map 17, parcel 21, located on the corner of Nemco Way and Westford Road. CSC is proposing to relocate existing visitor and employee parking along Nemco Way to a location along Westford Road. Additionally, CSC proposes to widen Nemco Way to create a paved shoulder for trucks to queue on while waiting to enter the site if necessary. The proposed site improvements will allow CSC to operate with much higher efficiency and create optimal traffic patterns throughout the site. The plan and application may be inspected in the Ayer Town Clerk's, Planning Offices Town Hall, 1 Main Street, Ayer, Mass, during normal business hours. September 30th.
Welcome.
Thank you.
2016.
My name is JP Conley. I work for Andrews Survey and Engineering. I'm here representing Catania Spring Corporation. If it pleases the board, I'd like to just give a quick, I know you're aware of the project and everything, I'd just like to give a quick presentation on what our goal is.
Yes. Yep.
And going from there.
Yep, that's why we're here.
Essentially, we'd like to make traffic flows within the site better.
Yep.
Ultimately, we have conflicts on Nemco Way with vehicle traffic from trucks and cars, mostly employees, other users of Nemco Way. So what we'd like to do is rearrange things on the site to provide better access for the loading and the operation, as well as provide an area where the employee parking and clientele parking is away from that, so they're not integrated. Essentially, we are relocating the proposed parking on the northeast corner of the site and pushing it west to the corner of Westford and Nemco. In addition to that, we'll be providing design site improvements for Nemco Way that will include a staging area for the queuing of trucks as Catania Spine experiences busier truck traffic time.
Excuse me, can you turn it just a
Sure.
little
Well,
bit?
I figured I'd show it to the audience.
No, that's fine, other
It's the
than I
same.
can't tell what you're talking about. That's not colored either, okay,
No,
don't worry
I
about it.
apologize.
No, I'm sorry.
Well, I'm colorblind, so it doesn't bother me.
Okay. There's no color. We like to keep it nice and black and white. So we will be doing, in addition to the parking areas, we will doing some landscaping as well as
This is being
some
moved to there.
additional
This
grading
is
for
the queuing area he's talking
stormwater.
about.
Oh, okay.
There, the cursor's a little small, but.
Sure, we'll do my best. So we're maintaining the existing drainage patterns to the site. Essentially, there's 2 existing run-ons from off-site areas that come onto the site and end up in this area here, and then over here as well. There's 2 pipes that get discharged into this existing area. There's a small little basin detention pond, and we've sized this basin, the proposed basin, to basically handle the entire volume from this new proposed area. So in the 100-year event, this volume that's created in addition will store the whole volume of water from this area. In addition to that, we've addressed the comments from the DPW as the board directed us to. We worked pretty diligently with Mark to address those.
You have also the October 3rd, 2016 memo from DPW.
I do, and we've addressed.
I've addressed them.
Yep, and we provided a letter in response to that.
Carry on.
And if you'd like, we can go through those, but I believe Mark's been satisfied with the design
Yeah.
and the changes we've made.
The fact that you say you addressed them, that's, go ahead.
In addition to that, we do have some proposed sign, basically drawings and details that we'd like to show you.
Okay.
Essentially, we're going to add a entry sign in this location. There's an existing sign down here. This sign, the existing sign, I've got a couple of handouts I can pass around if you'd like to see these going on each side, I guess. And we'll also have some directional
That's the existing.
access signs as well to direct users of the site to the miscellaneous buildings throughout this area. To guide them to go in the right direction.
These signs are designed to guide them only into this building, not the building across the way.
That's correct.
This whole new area of parking is the area that was cleared and regraded and everything. Looks really good.
Oh,
Now,
yeah.
And so you're adding a curb cut in for,
yep, the new
Big-
driveway up on Westford Road.
so trucks here, cars there.
That's correct. That's the
Well,
intent
I've been
too.
misspelling that for 25 years. I thought the G was in the Catania and the Spaniard was whatever.
It's a silent G.
I put a
learned
G
that
in
tonight.
both of them, Jim, okay?
Go ahead.
Aside from that, I think the only other issue that came to light during the discussion of this project is requirements for landscaping. And essentially, what we'd like to propose is that during construction, if the landscaping that we're showing on these plans is not significant enough to meet the planning board's concerns, we would like to give you the opportunity, or basically introduce a condition of, in your decision that says that during construction, you have the opportunity to come out and verify what's been installed, and if it doesn't meet your satisfaction, we'd work with you. Something to that effect.
Well, I'll leave it to the board as to at some point, beyond giving I'll call it as completed, or what we normally refer to as built, set of plans, that an invitation for a site walk would be heard. Because I gather that in the end result, it's certainly an improvement aesthetically.
I believe you have the ability to do that anyways with the decision, once we've, I think the board has the right to access and enter.
And to what extent, although this is not a required, if you will, notification to abutters, I appreciate that the applicant has opened it up to the public hearing process, and normally a site plan doesn't, of course, under the law require that, but given that you're a very good long-term corporate member of the community, this serves the town well to have the, and I know there are folks in the audience I'll ask if they have input to this at some point during this meeting, but anyway, that, at some point, it wouldn't hurt to open it up to the public and do a little tour.
I'd take that under advisement. From big picture design things, I think we've discussed everything. A couple of things I'd like to add are mainly in regards to drainage. The improvements on Nemco Way, we're going to create a flow line that directs it to an existing basin, which will be raised to grade. Currently, it sits down in a sump condition. It's lower than grade. So we're going to improve that, and what will happen is if they were just to pave out to that basically extent of the queuing lane, there'd be a seam. So and rather than do the seam at the edge of pavement where it exists now, we're going to grind and overlay a foot, and so that seam basically won't take place. There won't be a separation there'll be less risk in separation of the pavement at the seam. And there's a detail for that pavement joint as well. And then in addition to that, there is a fairly significant slope right through here. And there is some concern that this grading may or may not create a situation where we can't daylight and catch up with that. What we envision is that there's essentially an artificial berm here. There's no berm, there's no edge of road treatment, edge of pavement, no curbing, etc. But there is a buildup in grade. It's kind of just heaved up. So I think when we come across there and then just cut down, we'll be able to catch somewhere in that vicinity. And I don't envision that whole slope will be disturbed. In addition, there'll be some guardrail installed along there. And then lastly, the DPW has asked for, I believe, some guardrail repair out on Westford Road in the ballpark of that vicinity. And We basically offered up that during construction, we'd interact with the DPW to let them know specifically where we can, or have them tell us what specifically they'd like us to improve, where that is, and we would do what we can and resolve that internally.
Excuse me, this curb cut, is that down at the bottom? Is that at the low end of where the new grading was, or is it up, when you enter that, will you be entering up top?
I'm not entirely certain.
You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Because when you,
Sorry.
from Nemco Way, it goes along flat and then it drops down.
Yes.
Where's that curb cut? On the drop down or up top on the flat area?
Well, there's the curb cut on Nemco Way is down here, and down in that location.
No, but you're
grades-
coming off of Westford Road, right?
Yes.
Right.
There's that one as well.
That's the
So-
one I'm asking about.
Um,
Oh, it's right across from Mulberry Circle?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, all right. Yep,
That's for vehicles only though, not
that's
trucks.
for
No,
employees,
exactly.
no trucks.
Employees.
Yeah.
Right, no, yeah.
yeah.
So that's not anywhere close to the line of sight is fine.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. We have ample line of sight there.
Yeah.
You know, like we're proposing shrubs, low-lying shrubs and grass in this landscaped area. That there's an opportunity to put trees in this area. But
Yeah,
we're not going to basically the sign.
No,
everything is.
that's what I was wondering, if you were
site
down
distance.
close to the corner.
No, the site distance has definitely been taken into consideration.
Beautiful.
So it's not an increase in traffic per se.
There's no change in use. There wouldn't
Right.
be a increase in demand, no increase in employee count, that sort of thing. We're just
Better flow.
rearranging, exactly.
Yeah.
Less conflict.
Questions from the board?
I'm good, I'm in favor.
No, take a
I,
look at it. Yeah.
I'd like to open it up to the room. I know a few folks came in as a point of interest to this project, and again, I appreciate you coming in. Questions from the public on, Mike, you're hand up first.
Thank you.
So, Sandy,
My name is Michael
Patton, do you know Mike?
I live at 42
Yeah,
Westford
just
Road.
for the record, if you could identify yourself, Mike.
Yes, Michael Pattenden. I live at 42 Westford Road. For what it's worth, this is Mulberry. This is the proposed entrance into the parking lot. This is a town-owned plot, and this is mine here. I've tried to do this fairly accurately, but driving slowly on that road ain't possible. The line of sight for this proposed entrance is only that long. It varies depending upon the map you've got and the scale, but it's not really very far. If you do things like go online and find total stopping distances, part one, etc., for an 18-wheeler on a wet road, especially with a full load, that distance is minimal. Now, there's already traffic coming out of Mulberry, so why shouldn't traffic come out of here? As I drove past earlier on this afternoon, I was admiring the dents in the safety barrier just opposite Mulberry. There's quite a good collection of them. There's a number of vehicles come down here, simply cannot stop and go straight into the barrier. Well, that's fine. They may save damage now. They'll go straight into your parking lot. So the very first thing I would suggest is that there's no real good reason for an entrance here as opposed to further down, which would give you a considerably longer sight line. It would also get rid of the traffic coming down here being possibly a problem. And there's no appreciable traffic around here except coming out of Nemco. So I think if you move the entrance as far down as you reasonably can, it would make a great deal of sense. Okay, what else do we have? A very cynical personal comment, okay? This is my comment, nothing else. It finally brings us to why you managed to take all the trees down before. Not because there was a fear of them falling onto the building, but so you could build a parking lot. my personal comment. Okay? Round here, I understand that down this area, you want to cut the hard shoulder back and put an additional piece of road down for up to 5 trucks, okay? Well, if you made that 4, you could make the entrance here, and that would be even better. You get it off of Westford Road. The other thing is, if you drive up Demco Way and you try to look along Westford Road both ways to see if there's any traffic coming, certainly looking to the left is not easy. And that's where the traffic's coming from, and that's where this blind spot is here. Okay? Couple of questions. Right at the moment, if you walk along Westford Road and look over towards the factory, there's quite a big ditch. Now the town has a 12-foot right of way along Westford Road, both sides. That ditch is just about in that 12-foot area. Okay? I'm assuming, but I'll ask anyway, I assume that this parking lot is only going to be in the newly grassed area that you landscaped earlier on. That there will be no filling of that ditch, that the parking lot will not extend over the ditch, will not extend into the 12-foot right of way. So is that correct? You will.
Essentially. But I can give you a further detail if you let me respond.
Well, I'd certainly like to know if you're going to fill the ditch in.
We need to maintain that ditch for drainage purposes.
Okay. And also further along here, this says that there's going to be a,
Culvert.
what would you call it, culvert?
Yeah.
For what purpose?
To continue the drainage in the existing direction and put it to where it went before.
So you're saying that any drainage off of Westford or the new parking lot will run down into the ditch, come along, go through a culvert under the access road, and then continue on and go down into the pond and the modified drainage from Mulberry, corner of Mulberry and Westford.
That's essentially correct, but essentially, in detail, what happens is the water will stay in Westford Road because of the way it works. As the grades come through here, the water will bypass and wrap around here. This is the ditch that we're creating right here. We're maintaining this one, so it's going to come in through here. So all this water, whether it gets in here or bypasses, it will ultimately come back to here. The drainage from the new parking area is going to go through this way and get collected in a proprietary oil water separator before it gets discharged into that little energy dissipation basin. And then it will travel under the proposed pipe into the existing little hole that's there, where the 2 pipes come in. And then it goes out and goes through a system and out into the pond down here.
Right.
So yes, you're correct in a sense, but it's a little bit more of, there's a collection operation that's happening there and a treatment operation.
Right. Well, if the planning board does do a walk around, I'd appreciate it if I could have an invite as well. Okay?
We'll take it under the Meisen.
Right. I have a couple of questions. From where I live up here, I used to be able to see the pond. I can no longer see any sign of the pond. I understand that the water level is low because of the drought. Has the pond been drained or touched in any way, or is it simply overgrown around it? Okay. And the other thing is really a follow-up from way back. Okay, this shows the railroad line down here. My understanding from an earlier public meeting was that there were going to be 4 parallel tracks along here. I can certainly hear them at night, there's no doubt about that. Okay? Now that's got nothing to do with this, but I was just asking, were those 4 tracks ever installed?
Yes, they are.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
It was part of the previous.
So that's showing a building?
Yeah, I'd really like to stay germane to
Sure,
the project
yeah,
in front
it
of
was
us.
really
though,
Okay, I'm very much against the idea. I don't like it. Again, from a personal point of view, I think it impacts the value of my house. Okay, if you'd like to buy my house at town price, that would be just fine. I really do not like the entrance there. I really do think it would be just as easy and a lot better up here. And as I said, I'm not in the business, but I'm not convinced of having 5 trucks down here, 4, and keep this end open. And I guess one other question, which I think is germane, you have a sign which says that your headquarters is now on the other side of the road at number 3. Okay, so all this parking lot is for workers in the factory alone, and there's no room the other side to increase the size of the parking area over there.
There's probably the opportunity to increase the parking over there, but we'd like to keep the parking space as close to the operation and so that it's more convenient to the employees. We really don't want them having to have a lot of pedestrian traffic across Namco Way as well. And I'm not a traffic engineer, but I can speak on the location of the entrances if you'd like me to respond to that question as well.
Well, let me frame this again. I think it's appropriate to frame it at this point because I don't want to get too far off the beaten path here. The whole site plan process is simply, it's not subdivision control regulation. So everything being done here on site is pretty much within the purview of the landowner. And I dare say that the landowner is, as a courtesy to his corporate and other neighbors, agreed to come before the planning board to let us know what is happening, because it is a sizable project. There is no real requirement under the subdivision control regulation for him to even be here. So for Michael, I would say, certainly we'd want to have you put your comments in writing, and to the extent possible, we'll try to remediate them. But again, there's no, quite frankly, there's no regulatory control here that we can require, because it's all being done on site. And
Except for the
really,
curb cut.
Well,
Curb cut. The curb cut.
well, right, and that's why it really, because of the curb cut and the possible traffic, and now those questions have been answered. So I just don't want to get off the focus of why we're here, and it's really because the applicant agreed to come before us in a public way and explain everything in detail, and we appreciate that. So, one other hand I think went up in the back.
Electra Pearson, and I live at 46 West Spring Road.
Okay, your name again, I'm sorry, loud?
Electra Pearson.
Okay,
And
yeah, come on up, sure.
so, my house isn't on the map, but it's right here. I look at Nemco Way out of my door. If you trucks kept going, it's my house that we're gonna hit.
Is that the historic house?
Yes, we were one of the oldest houses in the Ayer.
Okay.
So, I did have a couple questions because I didn't quite understand reading all the map schematics on my own, so that's why I wanted to come down and talk, and I got the nice letter you guys sent. So, my question is where would the trucks in the expanding Nemco Way be sitting?
Well, I can show up here so I can address it to everybody. It's in this hatched area through here, along Namco Way.
Pretty much
So
my
it's-
front window, which isn't the most beautiful view, I have to say, guys.
So I think one thing just to point out about the trucks, if you notice on busy days,
Yeah.
they're sitting there.
They're sitting there anyway, but
Correct.
it's
So,
a health concern. I have health concerns about it, but I also had safety concerns about the idea of this new entrance that I wanted to ask, because you had said that you had done an evaluation on the flow of traffic within the company and within Nemco Way. But my concern is the flow of traffic on Westford Road, because when I pull out from right here, I have to agree with the gentleman from 42 that this curve is very fast. People are leaving it very, very quickly. And I'm concerned for the people that are leaving here, for the people here, and then me trying to get out and take a left to go to work. And I just wondered if anyone had done a traffic evaluation on the road for that traffic. I know it's not more traffic, I know it's new traffic, but I am concerned with the safety of the people, because I know, well, you guys don't live there. I live there. I see the cars coming around this corner, and I'm concerned about it. I see the cars stopping in front of my house, and I'm also concerned about getting out over there too.
I think what would happen there is that the planning board could take that as a consideration in terms, but I'm hearing that there's no increase in traffic. And basically I would have to go to the police department then to ask, okay, what does the latest traffic study show as to current personally, you may not be increasing traffic, but maybe others are.
Mhm.
And that's something that
And
I'd have to bring into the,
And I bet they would, because I often see the police
pose that
sitting
question to
here
the police department. to
because they're
see-
trying to catch speeders,
Right,
and that's where they hang out at night. I don't know if you guys,
right.
that's where they hang out.
But I dare say that the remediation of that problem probably wouldn't fall on the applicant to resolve, because by virtue of the fact he's not increasing his own.
Right, but I'm just concerned about
Traffic.
his company's safety. if
Right,
they're
right,
coming out.
Right, so
We're all concerned
that's something we can certainly pose, before the completion of things. I know, Mark, you indicated based on,
Yeah, we didn't do a detailed traffic analysis either. The police
Right.
do have equipment where they can put it out and they can monitor
Right.
traffic counts and traffic speeds.
right,
We did not collect any data to do that, but
yeah,
but the first comment I heard was, oh, Mulberry Circle is impossible to get out of.
Well, yes,
But
it's-
the sight line from across the street is much, much better.
yeah.
okay.
So we didn't see any issues with sight lines from this curve cut. Maybe we should try to find another entrance for Mulberry Circle.
Yeah, that, I mean, just as a general concern for everybody's safety on the road, and I do agree that I could see why the gentleman would think that this would not help his house values
Mhm,
either. I can agree with that. And I also miss the trees. I wanted to see what your landscaping would look like, because your building, though wonderful, is not exactly the most beautiful view to see every day, so I was hoping to have a look at what that looks like too. And, yeah, I guess I would appreciate, we have a lot of trucks that hang out in front of my house, so whatever we can do to mitigate it is always something I would care about. But anyway, I just wanted to thank you all very much for having us here, and I work for an engineering company too, so I appreciate everything you're doing.
No problem.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Let me come back then to the board, and I would need a motion basically to approve the site plan as it applies to map 17, parcel 21, dated 22 August 2016, as presented to us.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Second, discussion, any further discussion by the board? Okay, no discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Do you have a Mylar to sign, or you want to come back in November?
We will be coming back with one.
Hmm?
We will be coming back with one.
Okay. We meet again, I believe, November 1st.
Oh, I think it's the third.
Actually, I'm the chairman, I'm supposed to know that.
Oh, you can't know everything, Joe. Third.
November 3rd, well, there you go. Yeah.
Thank you
See
very
you
much for your
November
time.
3rd.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
It's November 1st, 2018.
Who?
It's November 1st, 2018.
I also have 10 sets.
Did you get that motion, Sandy?
Not sure.
Spent a fair amount of time driving this road the last couple of weeks.
Thank you, Mr. Conlon.
Just, well, I drive it every day.
Oh, dear.
Depending on how much truck traffic was there, I actually drove in, drove out. Took my truck over, took my small car, my Fiesta over, took my pickup, yeah.
That's actually, I think it's a better one.
I see it as an
Mark, are
improvement.
you,
I'm concerned about landscaping, but I see it as.
I
an
have
improvement.
one item that's not on the agenda, and it's not urgent at this point.
I know on the agenda, but I mean, as far as the site plan,
Oh, for this?
Okay.
Yes, we're all
okay,
set.
I'm about to close the public hearings.
Yeah. Yes, there's, as JP has
Designs.
said,
Oh, okay.
the grading on that berm on the truck lane, it's one of those, when you go out there and look at it, it's kind of like, you can't really draw it the way it's gonna end up. So it's
Okay.
one of those things that
Okay,
they'll do it, and we'll watch them do it, and it'll come out okay, but it's you're kind of shaving down the top of it, so
okay.
we'll just make sure when they're doing it that it doesn't have any issues.
That we addressed that in the letter. We want to invite the DPW out once the subgrade is exposed. So
Okay.
once we've done our
Okay.
initial grading. and
Well, I look forward to a site walk when you're ready.
Certainly.
Okay, I need a motion from the board to close the public hearing of October 6th, 2016 pursuant to Catania Spani.
So moved. Sorry.
Second.
Second.
So
Stereo.
moved, second. Yeah, I beat Mark to it this time.
Any discussion? No discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye,
Aye.
unanimous? Thank you very much. Okay, item next. We have our economic director. Ooh. Am I missing something? What?
Right before Alan.
Oh, I'm
Mark would
sorry.
like
Yeah,
to
yeah,
just
yeah,
add-
you're right.
Interrupt for a minute, Adam?
Yeah, come on down. I got you here.
Do you have another meeting today?
Just give me a minute, Alan, okay?
Since it's not on the agenda and it became not as urgent, but I wanted to leave this. and you
Norwood
guys
Ave
can look at
layout?
it. Yes.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
So basically, the developer for Norwood Ave approached me to get the street accepted. But when I put the schedule together and checked with town council, we don't have enough time to get it on
The
the
warrant.
fall town meeting warrant.
Okay.
And, well, we do have time to get it on the warrant, but we don't have time between when the selectmen would make their vote to accept it and town meeting. That requires 7 days, and it came out to be 5 days, I think, so.
Okay.
So anyways, I put together a letter for the planning board. So the selectmen have voted in.
Ladies and gentlemen, Alan.
Don't get Bonnie going.
The hubbub was just a bit loud. Okay, Mark, go ahead.
So the selectmen have voted intent to lay out the street. So the next step is that the planning board would vote to recommend layout of the street. And then once that's been done, then we notify all the properties that have an easement related to that acceptance.
Right.
And then the selectmen vote to lay out the street, then we post it with the town clerk, and then it can go to town meeting. So it's not urgent, since we're not trying to get on this fall town meeting, we're waiting until spring town meeting, but, so I do have a packet with a letter with explanation on it.
Yeah, if you could get that to us,
Take that
and
up
then
at a
the
future
board
meeting.
will
And,
decide when we can get it on the agenda.
sure. And like I said, it's no hurry, because we have until
Don't ever
May.
say that.
And, he does have a number of items that he needs to complete before it can be accepted
Okay.
also, so.
Okay.
But
Well, let us
I just wanted
look
to keep
over
the
the material
process
and
moving.
react. Yeah, we'll-
So if you,
React in a timely manner.
so there's copies for the board, right?
Thank you.
And
Good.
if there's
Mark, thank you so much.
Nothing else, I will head home.
No, I think we are good, my
My
friend.
dog's
Thank you
sitting,
much.
my dog's sitting in my car.
Bring him
Don't
in.
Sleeping in
don't say it on TV. You'll get letters, Mark.
Either he sleeps on the couch or he sleeps in the back
Yeah.
seat, right?
Safe trip home, Mark.
Okay, did Sue leave? Where'd she go? Let me get her back in there. Let's see if she's... I don't want them to think I'm kicking everybody out.
But you are.
We're just not as interesting as our procedures aren't quite as interesting as that.
I want you to think we're kicking everybody out of the room.
We're missing the party.
Is
Though.
that cupcakes?
Okay, I have a,
Candy?
what is known as a form-based code presentation from our economic director, Alan Minoyan. Welcome, Alan.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Sandy, so do you want to trigger the slides, or do you want me to? Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, yeah.
The logo.
Oh, yes, uh-huh.
Just double click.
Yeah, of course, does that say? Oh my God, I really am blind. My eyesight's gone. I think that says it, right?
Yeah.
There we go.
You want my glasses again? I can see. I can see. From
Pathetic.
You have the
And
floor.
I cannot sit down and do a form-based code presentation, so if it's all right if I might stand while I do this. I'm in my better fighting mode when I'm standing and doing, okay. First, let me just start, and I know I've mentioned the term, but before I'm ahead, any of you ever heard, I just want, of form-based codes? I'm just, in your,
Yeah,
right?
right.
Yes? Right,
It's a new term to me.
okay. And what I'm going to do tonight is not a technical presentation. That's going to be the second presentation.
Okay.
What I would just like to do tonight, what I hope to achieve tonight and provide you all is just an understanding of the spirit of the form-based code, of sort of, I just want you to get a sense of what is this thing in general, just some of sort of the
Do you
methodology,
have a
the
handout
mindset
after
behind
this
it.
that we might?
I don't, but I can do it. I can provide you all. I can email to all of you,
If you
which would be
could.
good. The presentation, which would
Yeah.
be fine. That's actually
Okay,
a good idea. So that's what tonight is. What I'd like to do for a second presentation, and I think it'll be a nice way to do this, maybe gradually, maybe every other or something. I'd like to get into more of the real technical presentation for the next one.
Okay.
So this, and I'm going to try to keep moving when I'm doing this. I won't keep you here for.
No, that's fine.
All right.
We're-
Okay.
We're good.
So a first look at form-based
Is
codes.
this the last slide?
You have a long way to go, my friend. No. And I just start with that, rather wonderful shot of East Main Street, and I just ask you just first to look at that image, and you see that there is a composition to this street. You can tell that it's a thought out, that it is actually a composed street. The way the buildings are actually sited, the way they orient the street, the front yards, the sidewalk, the planting strips, and of course the historic elm trees which were planted. And you see the street actually functions as a composition, the street and building form, the trees. And when we talk about the street, by the way, the street is not just the road bed. It includes the sidewalks as part of the street. So it's the full, when you think of a street.
Okay.
The basic thrust and the difference between, and I know you had, why did I just lose her name? Jane Barrett, talking about the zoning ordinance. Form-based codes, what they are is an alternative approach to what we call conventional use-based zoning, which is what we're functioning under, and most places have been functioning under since the 1930s,
70s.
and I know here in Ayer in the 70s when we introduced zoning. Conventional use-based zoning, the whole approach to it, when you draft a zoning ordinance or introduce zoning or do it, both the sequence and the sort of amount of time you dedicate to it. The conventional use-based zoning, which we've been doing in America for several decades, the whole process is first, just in the sequence of a process, we start by thinking about, talking about, and dealing with uses, right? It's all about, that's what zoning is right now, it's use, right? And that's what you sort of focus on most of the energy. Then sort of the next step in the process, we talk about the administration of how we administer this code, okay? And that's sort of second, and that's what you talk about probably second most. And then maybe at the end, as a residual, as an afterthought, oh yeah, how should things kind of, and we say, well, how should things look? Gee, maybe we should have some design guidelines. Guidelines? And guidelines are guidelines, they're vague. And maybe you'll talk about form, in which they often call design, at the end, and very little, and it's sort of added on. When you do a form-based code approach, a traditional form-based, it's inverted. What you talk about first, and most of the time of the process, is form. The building form, the building and street form. It's physical, actual, functional form of that street or a place. Then, of course, you deal with your administration, how that code's administered. And then, when we do form-based, then we'll talk about uses. In other words, the whole thing is the uses are de-emphasized and functional form is emphasized. So this is really the difference if when you boil it down to what it is. This is taken from our master plan that was done, or the comprehensive plan in 2005. Right? Downtown Ayer, just one section I pick out. Downtown Ayer is one of the town's finest assets. It has several great buildings, a train station. Its urban density makes the area walkable and appealing. As one local said recently, Ayer's downtown offers realistic opportunities for browser tourism, boutiques, craft shops, specialty clothing stores, galleries, and other small businesses. Fine. And you know why that is? It's because of its functional form. In contrast, the general business district, which is another one of our zoning categories, commercial areas tend to be visually and operationally confusing. They hit that right on the head, and that's the word. And all we have to do is think Park Street. Yes? Owing to dimensionalness, here we get at things with dimensional regulations, and the inclusion of several residential and industrial uses in the general business district, these areas are poised for development that could detract from Ayer's small town charm. I love that word, by whatever that means. What is charm? How do you code for charm? What does that mean? Yeah. Okay. and erode downtown Ayer's economic potential. So they're saying that form, that functional form on Park Street is probably not advantageous and good for it, but it's the form. A related concern is that Ayer has placed a considerable amount of land in the general business district. Okay, fine. And then here are just some of these other points from that plan just I picked out. And here's what they're saying. Reinforce Ayer's industrial village land use pattern and historic arrangement of buildings and streets. First I asked, do you know what that means? But when they say the so-called historic arrangement of building and streets, that's form-based code. They didn't know what they're trying to get at it. All right? They're actually saying, although, and by the way, the Form-Based Code Institute, I was in the inaugural class of it, was started in 2005. They didn't even know what form-based codes were, but they were hitting on it already. Facilitate small-scale redevelopment and reuse projects that encourage preservation and reuse, and reduce the potential for tear downs. How does our zoning assure that and deliver that will happen? It doesn't. It's too abstract. Achieve planned mix of residential, non-residential, and public land uses along the adjacent to the town's main roads. Now they're getting back in the use thing a little bit. See, they're dancing around with us trying to find out achieve high-quality, high-value development in the commercial industrial districts and reduce the amount of land zoned for non-residential. How do you deliver high-quality, high-value development? What is that supposed to mean? And can our conventional zoning really deliver that? And then and here it is, I love this, change the existing general business districts adjacent to downtown Ayer to mixed-use transitional districts with use and dimensional regulations that acknowledge the gateway role of these areas. What's wrong with this is enough with mixed-use overlays. And this is what we get away from. Basically, we just try to complicate, add overlays and guidelines, and all it does is make the whole code more complex, more difficult to understand. And this was the approach. It's still use. They think it's use, but it's not use. It's form. Hey, there's the place where there's our Park Street, and there's me standing in the middle of the street. People say, "Are you crazy?" You know, Jim, I grew up in Lowell, so we grew up playing in the streets, just like you Dorchester kids. So, but anyway. It's Park Street, and by the way, we've had some great tours out on Park Street and other areas. People have gotten out, and this is what we've talked about when we have been out on our actual tours. And I know Susan can attest to that, and Ruth, who've been on our tours. What is a form-based code?
My chop liver.
Oh, geez, I'm sorry. How could I forget you? A form-based, and this is the official definition from the Form-Based Code Institute, which I'm a proud member of. A form-based code is a land development regulation that fosters, the key word is predictable built results and a high-quality public realm, and we're going to get into public realm, by using physical form rather than separation of uses as the organizing principle for the code. Form-based code is a regulation, not a guideline. That's really important, folks, because right now we deal with form, usually in physical, we just do guidelines. A design guideline, which means you can do it, you might not do it, totally unpredictable in the outcome of the development. Adopted into a city or town or county law, form-based code offers a powerful alternative to conventional zoning regulations. The key words there are predictable built results. And this is, by the way, what the development community needs to do business here. Predictability on what it does. Public realm is really the point of form-based codes. And what is, a public realm?
Beacon Hill?
Very good, Joe.
Yeah.
You know your boss it. When we talk about a public, and this is why form-based codes were created, folks, because what has happened, since post-World War II, what the public realm is actually where we spend most of our time, okay? What the public realm is all the connective tissue between private property holdings. The places that most of us walk, spend time. When any of us, I know all of us, when you go to a town or a new place, and when you go and sort of make your first judgment on this place I've come to, you're not making a judgment on what's inside that building, or you make it and say, wow, look at this street, look at this, and we all do this. We make judgments very fast as to what is this place? Do I want to be here? Do I want to linger here? Do I want to spend time in my disposable income here? We make these decisions, and what the public realm is, your streets, your sidewalks, your parking lots.
Down that alley.
He's just fascinated with this picture. With greens, open space. Folks, and what happened, unfortunately, what our conventional zoning ordinances delivered with the building and street form, and all I have to do is point to Park Street, West Main Street, a couple of others I could do. The quality of that public realm, because of the nature of the developments and it not being a contextual coherent, it's really made it a low-quality experience.
But when you bring up Park Street, I mean, do you have a plan for addressing the grandfathered uses along Park Street? Because that's our biggest obstacle.
Certainly. And you look at a picture like this, and everyone, this lane is quite famous on Beacon Hill. People.
I think it's Joy Street, isn't it?
No, it isn't Joy Street actually. But what you look at that picture and say, wow, I would really love to be in that place. And I'd say, why?
Mount Vernon?
Why?
No, I'm close.
No, it's Iron Street. It's a little side lane.
They're
But
all
folks,
the
just
same.
look at the way the buildings, think of buildings, and we've said this on our tour. To do form-based code, you have to start thinking of buildings as containers and definers of that public space and public realm. It's the buildings that contain the space and create the space, okay? High quality or not, and then what you want to do in that space. So start thinking of buildings not as just isolated, separated things that have nothing to do with each other or the street. When a code is laid out beautifully, it creates a high quality public realm that those buildings now contain. And I say, and we all know this, the places we love going the most and spending time in. You guys been up to, I don't know, Newburyport lately, Portsmouth, Newburyport, Portsmouth, you go to Kennebunkport, think of the places that we love these, right? We all love these places when we go to them.
Yeah.
Isn't it interesting? The places we love going to the most are the places that were built, created, and designed before there was any such thing in America as zoning or planning boards or regulations. Why is that? What is it that our forefathers knew in New England? Form-based codes now are founded on the police power, as is conventional Euclidean use-based zoning. Public health, public safety, and the general welfare of the community. The point of this is form-based codes have legal standing, they are not legally challenged, and they function the same way under the police power as does the zoning ordinance. This is why we have the ability to basically regulate people's properties. And I just want to know, form-based codes, again, are based on the police power, the same as Euclidean zoning. So here's the big difference, right? Conventional use-based zoning ordinances, and I think when you were just talking about zoning stuff, the trouble that the town has had for how many years now, and just trying to put this code together, and we're all very smart people in this community, professionals, right? See, why is this so difficult to get this thing together? Conventional use-based zoning ordinances are substantially, they're all text-based, right? You look at a zoning ordinance and it's basically a mass of text. It's legal vernacular for most of it. They're lengthy for the most part. I know when I was up in Nashua at the end, we did our new zoning ordinance in Nashua, it was 320 pages long.
Wow.
They're confusing often. They're complex. They're abstract, they're vague, they're unpredictable. They result in contentiousness with the public often. They're non-contextual, and they're often laborious to administer, and they are proscriptive. Now, what proscriptive is it's like proscriptive is, I'm going to tell you what thou shalt not do. This is what most zoning would do. It says what you're not to do. It's like, okay, so now we say to developers, so go out now and do, what letting you know you can't do. But so then if I'm a developer, well, what do you want me to do? Well, why don't you come here for 3 or 4 meetings and we'll talk about this for 3 months? Like, geez, really? Why don't we definitively lay out as a community what you want, and then I know this as a developer, and I can make a decision when I want to come in and develop under that pattern. So the difference is traditional form-based codes are they're illustrative in their technical format. They're diagrammatic, they're graphic, in a good way, not in a bad. They're concise, simple, clear, easily understandable, contextual, flexible, basic to administer, and they are prescriptive. So the difference between proscriptive and prescriptive is basically the community as a whole formulating this code and letting the world know, developers, everyone, here is the place that we have determined we want this place to develop as physically, okay, and functionally. And here it is, we've actually coded it. And it's very clear. A good form-based code done properly should be no more, even for a large city, than 30 pages. And all those pages, which I'll show you my code I just did up in Auburn, Maine, just adopted a few months ago, it's all laid out very illustratively and graphically. Okay, so it's concise, quick. And I remember for many years in cities and towns, and Nashville is just a great example, I'm going back to it. I know so many attorneys that built 40-year careers, lucrative careers on being zoning attorneys in Nashville. Why? Oh, well, I want to develop something here, but I'm looking at the zoning ordinance, and you look at the zoning ordinance in Nashville, it takes an expert. Literally a zoning expert to make and to cross things and to kind of work it and massage it. You couldn't. You a regular person living. You could never. No, don't bother looking at our zoning. You'll never. It's too complex. You need to hire a zoning attorney to make sense of this. I do. Why is that? Why should this be so? With a good form-based code, my 9-year-old nephew can look at it and say, I understand exactly here. An average, and that's what we should be doing, so that regular people can look at this and say, absolutely, we can make use of this, we understand it. So the difference is, conventional use-based zoning really results in an unpredictable development pattern. If you do a form-based code properly, it results in a very more predictable development pattern and outcome. And then the mitigation of development investment risk. I know lots of developers, they're friends of mine, they're worried when they come in, especially downtowns or cores like this, they say, hey, Alan, I want to build the right building, do the right thing here, in the traditional format of the thing, and I'll do it high quality. I want to be part of the fabric of this thing so it really functionally fits in, but you know what? There's a parcel here on this side of me, and there's on this side of me. If I make this invest and do this the right way, how do I know that the person on this side of me is going to develop and consist, or they might do something that, is completely unpredictable and basically adversely impact the value of what I did. In other words, I can't risk doing something the right here because I don't know what's really going to happen to me on either side of me here. Now, if I knew that there was a conventional code, that if I do this here, I know that whether this parcel's developed a year from now or 7 years from now, it's going to be consistent with the overall development pattern, not identical, but okay. Therefore, you know what? I'm in. I'm going to invest in and do it because I know what's going to happen here is going to be consistent, functionally informed with it, and it's going to elevate the value and the vitality of all. I'm in. I'll invest because now you have mitigated my risk, and I have a form. This is the transect. What we're going to do, the whole code is going to be based on the transect, the urban to rural, or the rural to urban transect. And all this basically is when you do a form-based code, you're laying out your T section. So you look at T6 there. That is, if you will, the most intense development of the pattern, of your complete pattern of your town. It's usually the town center in New England. Think of the place, this is the place where the highest buildings are, where they're most concentrated and intense. And I would ask you all, where do you think that would be in Ayer today? Where's the most intense? We're right here, right? Is this ground zero? Is this T6? Is this Ayer's T6? And then next, on the next ring out, your T5. A little less in terms of height and intensity. And you see that with the buildings and the neighborhoods around us here. Okay? And then you work out and out. Think of it like, when you throw a pebble in a pond, and you have the nice little concentric rings that go out. So with the form-based code, you have to start, and you'll never do this with conventional zoning, you look at your town as a whole. You look on your town map, and you start by saying, where is the center of this town, and what are the edges? Then you can start contextually, functionally laying out a pattern for the town. And the coolest thing about this, and us being in New England, I'll show these images, is this, and there's just another aspect of it, all right? done sort of from a straight down, and then done, you can see the lamp pen. It's just, and all these are the types of things that'll be in your code, so people can visually understand the pattern you're talking about. That's just another approach at looking at it, okay? And there are all sorts of cool ways visually to lay out so people understand. T6, T5, T4, T3. Now, where's my, ooh, there it is. So, right? What is this? It's the quintessential, right? New England town.